تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم من عذاب عليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعد من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أن حملنا ذرية في فلك مشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أن نطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في السور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مركدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أحد إليكم يا بني آدم أن لا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تعملون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لتمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنا يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مذيعا ولا يرجعون ومن نؤمره ننقص في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويهك القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللنا لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحيي الذي أنشاها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقظون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون. الفاتحة.
حدیث قصہ اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم عن فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال سمعت فاطمة أنها قالت دخل علي برسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة فقلت عليك السلام قال إني أجد في بدني ضعفا فقلت له أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف فقال يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلأله كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أماه فقلت عليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي فقال يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوض قد أذنت لك فدخل معه تحت الكساء فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جداه، والسلام عليك يا من اختاره الله. أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال: السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. فقلت: نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له: وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وسي وخليفتي وصاحب اللواء، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت: السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال: وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بضعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ بي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومى بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال: اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم، واجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. ما صل فقال الله عز وجل: يا ملائكتي ويا سكان السماوات، إني ما خلقت السماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مدحيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل: يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل: هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. اللهم صل على محمد. فقال جبرائيل: يا ربي أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض ليكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله: نعم، قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك: وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مدحيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله: وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله، إنه نعم، قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء. فقال لي أبي: إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول: إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى يتفرقوا. فقال علي إذا والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال النبي ثانيا يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله حما ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غما ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي إذا والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. اللهم صل على محمد. سورة الفاتحة.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب ما أغنى عنه وما كسب سيصلى نارا ذات لهب وامرأته حمالة الحطب في جيدها حبل من مسد. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
أفضل السلام عليك يا رسول الله محمد وآل محمد صلوات صلوا على محمد. دربار ہے علی کا جو مانگنا ہے مانگو رحمت کا ہے خزانہ جو مانگنا ہے مانگو دربار ہے علی کا جو مانگنا ہے مانگو. امید لے کے آئے مہمان بن کے آئے امید لے کے آئے مہمان بن کے آئے پھیلا کے ہاتھ دونوں جو مانگنا ہے مانگو دربار ہے علی کا جو مانگنا ہے مانگو. دل کی تمنا پوری رہ جائے نہ ادھوری دل کی تمنا پوری رہ جائے نہ ادھوری جگمگتی یہ زری ہے یہ جو مانگنا ہے مانگو دربار ہے علی کا جو مانگنا ہے مانگو. محتاج فقیر آئے کوئی امیر آئے محتاج فقیر آئے کوئی امیر آئے بردی है सबकी झोली, जो मांगना है मांगो, दरबार है आई का, जो मांगना है मांगो। रोज़ा दिखा दो मौला, आए हम नज़फ में। रोज़ा दिखाओ मौला, आए हम नज़फ में। ज़वाल रक़ब दे दो, जो मांगना है मांगो, दरबार है अली का, जो मांगना है मांगो। साइल तुम्हारे दर पे आए हैं या अली, साइल तुम्हारे दर पे आए हैं या अली। खुश हो के दर से रोते, जो मांगना है मांगो, दरबार है अली का, जो मांगना है मांगो। रहमत का है खजाना, जो मांगना है मांगो। अफ़ज़लुस सलाम मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद अला अरवाहिल मुमिनीन वल मुमिनात सवाब अल-फ़ातिहा।
Madam Dungersi, elders, brothers, and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I begin with a verse from the Holy Quran, chapter 2, verse 156 and 157. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Those who when disaster strikes them say, indeed we belong to Allah and indeed to Him we will return. Those are the ones who their blessings from their Lord and mercy will be given. And it is those who are rightly guided. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This verse in Arabic is, as we know, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We are sad to announce the passing of Marhum Zakir Ali G. Datu, who passed away today in New York. The Marhum was the father of Sister Tasneem Megji and father-in-law of Brother Mohsin Megji. Let us recite a Surah Fatiha for the Marhum. Tomorrow, the program of the funeral will be as follows. Namaz al-Mayat will be conducted here at 8 a.m. After that, we'll continue to leave here from 8:30 and plan on having the burial at Washington Memorial Cemetery starting at 9:30 a.m. Tonight's Surah Yasin is sponsored for the following marhumin. Marhum Zakir Ali G. Datu, Marhum Liaquat Ali Habib, and all marhumins of the Habib and Kara family, Marhuma Zahrabai Kareem, and all marhumin of the Kareem and Merali family. Marhum Haider Darsi and all marhumins from the Habib and Darsi family. Al-Fatiha. As I announced the other night, there are some upcoming programs that will be being conducted at the inn for volunteering. It's a trio event. One is being held on November 23rd. One will be held, all the information for these events are in the Sydney Newswire. Please check it out and sign up through the respective people. Also, there is a NASIMCO-sponsored or conducted leadership workshop that's going to be taking place in New York in January. right? February. The information is online, and there will be a video here that we're going to show as an introduction to the program. Please turn your attention to the video.
Nasimco is excited to bring you the Leadership Development Program, also known as the LDP. The Leadership Development Program is a widely acclaimed values-based course which takes participants on a journey of self-development. After they have understood the self, participants turn their attention outwards to understand group dynamics and ultimately how they can best achieve their potential. Led by an international facilitation team, the 3-day workshop will enable you to achieve personal growth, align self, social relationships and community, develop effective leadership practices, and increase political intelligence. The 13th session of the LDP will be held at the Hayat Place Garden City. Nasimco is excited to bring you the Leadership Development Program, also known as the LDP. The Leadership Development Program is a widely acclaimed values-based course which takes participants on a journey of self-development. After they have understood the self, participants turn their attention outwards to understand group dynamics and ultimately how they can best achieve their potential. Led by an international facilitation team, the 3-day workshop will enable you to achieve personal growth, align self, social relationships and community, develop effective leadership practices, and increase political intelligence. The 13th session of the LDP will be held at the Hayat Place Garden City in New York from Friday, February 14th to Monday, February 17th. Early bird special at $350 before December 8th.
Some of the key issues as part of LDP which I learned was effective communication skills. You can apply it in personal life, or you can apply it in your corporate life. The other interesting thing which I learned was the way people react to different situations, and trying to understand how people react the way they do. I think that was another key skill which was imparted upon us as part of the LDP course, which was very interesting.
Speak to your local Jamaat about available subsidies. Limited spots available. Register early to avoid disappointment.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
Before we begin, let's remember our marhum today, as well as in this week, as well as all of our marhumin, and by the barakat of our holy prophet, may inshallah Allah give shifa to all of our marhumin. Surah Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا يَنْهَى عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا صَدَقَ اللَّهُ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Your second salawat for love of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now let's make a deal. If you guys are going to sit everywhere, I should hear a salawat from everywhere. And you're allowed a salawat to hasten the master of our time, Sahibul Asri wa Zaman. It's true, these guys are sitting in front, but it doesn't alleviate everyone from the responsibility of salawat. So, one more salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. While alhamdulillah we have been blessed with the honor of not just acknowledging Rahmatul lil Alameen, but to live on the religion and the teachings of Rahmatul lil Alameen. And today is a day that we take the opportunity to celebrate the fact that we have been tied to such an amazing personality. We still have sad days. And we still have days that are difficult, and days that we lose people, and days that we go through sorrow. And sometimes it feels like we're going through one difficulty after another, or we're facing one loss after another, or our community is suffering one after another. There's a statement of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Ya Ali, where he says, Yawmu lak wa yawmu alayk. That one day is for you, and one day is upon you. Sometimes it happens, we have good days and we have happy times, and sometimes it happens we go through difficulties and we go through problems. And the same way that we take the time to honor and celebrate in the Wiladat of Rasulullah, and we appreciate and we enjoy these special days when they come to us, within the example of Rasulullah is the forbearance for loss and the suffering of grief and difficulty. And we take lesson from all of these things. And we remember something as we lose people in our family, in our community, and there are people in our lives that we imagine that we can't live without. And we never imagine our life without some of these people who are part of our life. But when Imam Ali suffered the greatest loss that could be lost, that he lost Rasulullah from his life, he says, had there been anyone who was worthy of living forever, in all of humanity and all of creation, had there been anyone who was worthy of living forever, it was the personality of the Holy Prophet. And that Allah took him away from us is a lesson for all of us, that we will lose everyone, and that times will come when we will have to go and we will lose our friends and our family and our relatives. And it happens, and it's a difficult loss when we lose somebody who's dear to us, but we want to look at the example the same way we want to celebrate with the Prophet, we want to learn from his example. Our sixth Imam teaches us that our Holy Prophet, whenever he would feel sorrow, would turn to prayer and turn to communicate with Allah and to discuss with Allah his problems and his difficulties. And that's one of the solaces that we take, is that if it's true that a personality as great as Rasulullah, remember something, our Holy Prophet, we celebrate his birthday, right? Our Holy Prophet is that personality that when he was born, the entire world changed. Whether you take a look at, for example, some of the historical contexts that talk about, for example, the places where there was water, that water suddenly disappeared, lakes that they said would never dried up, places they said never water would come, water came. If you take a look at the fire of the Zoroastrians that had burned for over 1,000 years, went out on the birth of the Prophet, not the annunciation of the Prophet. The Prophet has not yet announced to the world his message, but on his arrival into this world, Allah changed the entire world because of him. And he said, now that my Prophet has entered this world, I will not send my azab on this world until the day of judgment. That the palaces of the great kings cracked, that the soothsayers lost their ability on the birth of the Prophet. This personality who was so beloved to Allah also left this world. And that's where the lesson for us comes, to be patient through these trials and tribulations as we lose members, because our Prophet was somebody who was a personality beloved in this world and beloved to Allah, that Allah changed the entire process of how this earth operates because of him. So when we go through loss, we look to him for solace and we look to them for support. And the greatest honor and dua that we can have is that, oh Allah, the same way our loved ones left this world on the religion of Ali Muhammad, raise them with Ali Muhammad. Sallu ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Now, the verse that we're beginning our discussion with is Surah Al-Hashr, verse number 7. In which Allah says, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا يَنْهَى عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُ. Where Allah is saying that whatever the Prophet gives you, take it. And whatever he forbids you from, abstain from it. Let's create some context here. Surah Hashr, in the beginning of its conversation, in this verse, including in verse number 7, is having a conversation about the bounties and the booty of war and the success that when, for example, the people are overtaken, that their wealth comes to you, how it should be dispersed. And verse 7 even talks about the process of how wealth and so on and so forth is dispersed into various characteristics. The purpose of this conversation in Surah Al-Hashr was that some property came into the hands of the Muslimin. And the wealthy, they came to the Holy Prophet and they said, O Prophet of Allah, there was an etiquette of the affair before you began your prophethood, and we want that to continue. Rasulullah says, really? What's that? They said, well, see, what happens is that since it was that people submitted to you, you take 1/4 to do with whatever you want, and take whatever you need out of the money and the wealth that came into Islam, and give the rest to us aristocrats who will turn around and we'll take care of this for you. We'll handle the money affairs. Now, in prehistoric or pre-Islamic time periods, what would happen is when wealth came in, that the elite, the aristocrats would take the wealth and they would use, well, let's call it what it is, trickle-down economics, and say, well, you know, if we have the money, we'll start the businesses. When we start the businesses, the people will get work. The money will come to everybody. It'll be okay. So they came back to the Holy Prophet and they said, Ya Rasulullah, why fix what's not broken? You give us the money, we'll take the money, and, everybody gets a share eventually. And Allah is now explaining, He says that no, you don't tell us how this works. We tell you how this works. We tell you the system of economics of how it should be and how wealth should be distributed and how processes should work. And then in the middle of this entire verse where Allah is giving the explanation of how wealth should be split amongst the people, He makes a statement, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا يَنْهَى عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُ. Whatever the Prophet gives you, take. And whatever the Prophet forbids you from, stay away. Some of the Mufassirin amongst the Muslimin thought that this was in context to the distribution of wealth, and it was basically, essentially, Allah just issuing a warning to the wealthy and saying that, oh, hey, only take that which the Prophet gives and stay away from that which the Prophet forbids, and he has full discretion. Rather, that when we take a look at the language and the grammar of the structure of this sentence, we see that the statement that Allah is making here when He says, take whatever the Prophet gives you and stay away from whatever the Prophet forbids you, is a general statement. One of the places of its implementation is the conversation about wealth and the distribution of wealth. However, that the statement that's applied here, that's how the Prophet has the right to instruct you in what's good and keep you away from what's bad, is a much larger statement than that applies to any and every instance that comes into play. And it's not just matters of wealth and distribution of war booty that Allah is talking about, take what the Prophet gives and stay away from what the Prophet forbids, but that in every affair of your life, anything that the Prophet offers you, accept it and follow that process. And anything that the Prophet tells you to stay away from that process entirely. Meaning that Allah is making a declaration in this statement that the absolute value of what Allah likes to see in this earth is implemented in the character of Rasulullah, and everything that Allah wants you to stay away from in this world is implemented in the personality of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When we look at our Holy Prophet, we see that Allah gave him a variety of distinctions and statuses. However, the characteristic and the status that Allah chose to represent His last Prophet by is his akhlaq. إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. That certainly, O Prophet of Allah, O certainly, O Rasulullah, you are on the most noble of characteristics and the greatest of character. When we take a look at the previous prophets of Allah and we look at their examples, we can see that, for example, there are different ways that Allah could have represented His greatest prophet on this earth. As we mentioned, that Allah changed all of existence for this one prophet. That Allah said that this is the best of my creation, this is rahmatul lil alameen. He is a mercy to all of humanity, whether they recognize Him or they don't. Notice, the adhab of Allah from the birth of Rasulullah wasn't just prevented from impacting the Muslimin. It's not to say that the Muslimin, that their hisab was put off to the Day of Judgment, that their accountability for their sins was put off till the Day of Judgment. No, whether you believed in the Prophet or not, there was no concept left in this earth that you would see the punishment of Allah in this earth for your actions. Rather, all of the punishment and the reward was put off till the hereafter. Now, briefly, as a pause here really quickly to explain. It happens sometimes that we see difficulties in our life, and we see problems in our life, and we see issues in our life. These issues and these problems that we see in our life are not punishment from Allah. And this is an ideology that we have to understand correctly, that these aspects that we see of difficulties in our life are not punishments. They fit into two categories. One is either a system of consequence, or the other is a system of trial. When we take a look at the concept of consequence, the consequences of our actions, sometimes, for example, we understand, we can see, we can react to, we can benefit from, we can result with. For example, I drive at 120 miles an hour. I may get a ticket. I may get into an accident. I may get into, God forbid, some kind of a difficulty because of my recklessness of my behavior. There is a consequence to my action. Sometimes these consequences are really easy to understand and they're very direct. They're a very linear relationship. I did this and therefore I see the consequence. Sometimes the consequences of our actions are not linear, but rather we have to take a look at the combination of a human being. That a human being as a composite of a physical entity and a spiritual entity, that sometimes these actions play off of one another and we get consequences between the two of them. Shall I give you an example? All right, sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. For example, qat'i rahim, silai rahim. Qat'i rahim and silai rahim, in joining and keeping the relationships within our family and breaking the relationships within our family. Physically, there's no difference between me and, God forbid, my brother who I break relations with and I say, I'm done, don't want to talk to you anymore. Nothing happened to him. Nothing in his body changed, nothing in my body changed. Physically, we would say that the interaction had no impact. However, spiritually, we know that there was an impact of this relationship that brings about consequence. The same way that there's no physical, okay, DNA, yes, but I mean, when we look at a person, there's no physical difference between whether I treat this person as my brother or that person as my brother. The relationship I can build or break. But spiritually, there's an impact that Allah has said that these relationships of the womb have a connection and they have an impact on your reality. When we break this relation, when we stop this relationship, now, how do we stop these relationships really quickly? You guys are okay, right? We're okay? You're good? Because, I mean, we're going to go back to our topic still, so if you guys are okay, sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. My point is, it's a relevant point, it's a relevant discussion that's interesting to learn about the impact of our actions and to understand. When we talk about, for example, breaking relations, the concept of breaking relations, even amongst mu'mineen, that if I'm upset with my brother, I have 3 days to be upset with him. That 4th day, if I don't change my character, whether it's my fault or not, I'm now part of the ones who is punished for this breaking of relationship. So meaning that I have 3 days to be righteously upset with someone. I can be upset for up to 3 days and it's okay. When that 4th day comes, now both of us are included in the punishment for breaking that relationship. When I break that relationship, when that 4th day comes, and we go before Allah, but Allah, He's the one who threw a Slurpee at me. He's the one who took my parking spot. He's the one who, whatever it is this person did. Allah says, yes, that's why for 3 days you were upset with him. The 4th day came, you should have fixed that relationship and you didn't. Now you are punished for it too. This is the extent that we're allowed. When we exceed this extent, when we go beyond this extent and we break a relationship that Allah has established for us, the physical consequence appears in our life. Sometimes that physical consequence of breaking that relationship is the shortening of my life. And we see the hadith from our sixth Imam where he says that it may be that Allah has written for you 3 years to live, but when you connect your relationship, Allah increases that life for 30 years. It may be that Allah wrote for you 30 years of life, and when you break your relationship with your relatives, Allah shortens it to 3 years. The consequence, I don't see the two coming together in reality. The consequence, for example, I say I stop talking to him and all of a sudden I'm going to die. But that's the thing, the consequence comes from the spiritual side. So there are times when the difficulty I see in my life is from the consequence of my action. Sometimes the consequence is linear. I perform an action, I know the consequences for it. I hit my brother, I know my dad's going to be upset. I drove too fast, I'm going to get into trouble, I'm going to get a ticket. Linear structure. Other times there are spiritual characteristics and spiritual issues that show up that are consequences. Some of them, for example, we mentioned breaking of relationships. Another one that's really important is the consuming of alcohol. The consuming of alcohol has a physical consequence to it, very real. We know that it can cause sicknesses in the body. It's a poison that someone can put in their body, that they can develop sicknesses, they can develop addiction, they can develop all these problems. One aspect. But from another aspect, the consumption of alcohol has a spiritual consequence that plays out in the relationships of life. Our Holy Prophet made a statement. He says, "Man zawwaja bintuhu lisharib al-khamr qata'a rahimaha." That one who marries his daughter to someone who drinks alcohol has broken the family relations with his daughter. The consequence of this action not only implies to the one who consumes the alcohol, but even the one who builds relations with this person. Now obviously there are some conditions to this. For example, they don't seek forgiveness, they don't repent for their actions, they continue to insist on being a sinful person. All of these attributes play in. It's not that someone makes a mistake once and we condemn them to hell forever. Rather that there are conditions to these statements. So there are consequences. So we were talking about Rasulullah, our Prophet came. No more punishment of Allah on this earth. Difficulties that we see in life sometimes are a consequence of the actions and the decisions that we make. The other time that we see a difficulty in our life is not the punishment of Allah, but rather the trial from Allah to raise our status and to give us an opportunity to attain heaven. Every human being has the desire to go to heaven. And we know that this life of ours is not heaven for us. So therefore there has to be a process by which we earn the ability to go to heaven. If you want to go to heaven, Allah wants to see that when I put you to tribulation, do you come back to me or do you go away from me? And this process of either coming to Allah or going away from Allah is the process by which we know if we are getting closer to heaven or further from heaven. In contemporary environments, what they've done now is when you take, for example, a GMAT or one of these examinations for your continuing education for your graduate school, they have this system set up now. When you take the test, you answer a question. If you answer it correctly, what happens? The next question is harder. And if you answer it incorrectly, it's easier. Allah was the first one to implement this system. That when He puts you through a trial and a difficulty, if you choose His path, it doesn't get easier. Because now you're asking for the next level of heaven. So the question and the answer become harder. And if you don't want to go to heaven and you answer it incorrectly, Allah says, what's the point of me trying you? You don't want to go to heaven anyway, so go ahead. And the next question becomes easier and the difficulties go away. We shouldn't look at, for example, difficulties in our life and imagine that, for example, these are the punishment of Allah. Whether the difficulty we face is a consequence of our own actions or is a trial from Allah, all of these difficulties have the purpose of giving us the ability to answer the question correctly and earn our way into heaven. So, Rahmatul lil Alameen came. Punishment of Allah was removed from all of humanity. Difficulties and tribulations we go through in life are a consequence of the decisions we make or the trials that Allah puts on us to be able to go to heaven. That the entire world changed by the coming of this Prophet. We're good? We're okay? One more salawat and we'll continue. Why did Allah choose that the characteristic that this Prophet shall be known by is his character and his akhlaq? When we look in the Quran, we see that there were other Anbiya that Allah, when He distinguished them in society, He distinguished them through power and might. For example, Nabi Sulaiman. If you look in the Quran in Surah Namal, from verse 20 to 44 is a conversation of Nabi Sulaiman and his interaction with the Queen of Sheba. And what happens is that when Nabi Sulaiman hears that Sheba is a queen of a nation and her people are worshipping the sun, Nabi Sulaiman sends them an invitation to join Islam. There are some really interesting points in the story that we can talk about. One of the aspects is that there's no problem with the woman being a queen of the country. Two, the queen of the country is not someone who is a bad queen. She's actually running a very successful country. She takes counsel from her people and acts with wisdom. And she receives the letter of Nabi Sulaiman inviting her to the religion of Islam and inviting her to worship Allah and to stay away from worshipping the sun. And what does she do? After seeking counsel, and they say, if you want to go to war, O queen, we'll go to war with you. And the queen replies, she says that when a nation goes to war and they lose, the best of them are treated the worst. Which is an interesting statement. It's a very intellectual statement. She says, let me see if I can come to a treaty with this Sulaiman and send him some wealth. And Allah demonstrates that Nabi Sulaiman, the Prophet of Allah, his characteristic is given in these two phrases of his authority on this earth. When Sulaiman receives the gift of Sheba, he says, does she think she's going to give us wealth? Allah has given us better wealth than He gave Sheba. And then what's the reply that Sulaiman sends? Sulaiman says, O Sheba, if you don't submit to the religion of Islam, we will send an army upon you that will destroy you. If Allah had chosen, He could have chosen that His rahmatul lil alameen, when He enters into society and into the world, is represented by strength and wealth. The same way He did with Nabi Sulaiman. But Allah chose, when He sends this Prophet to this world, that his attribute and what he's known for is not his wealth, because our Holy Prophet was a personality that when Allah offered him, O Holy Prophet, we will make the entire earth filled with gold for you and it will not reduce anything from your rewards. The character of the Prophet was that he turned and he says, Oh Allah, I pray to you for one meal a day and I want to have to beseech you for my next meal. I don't want to possess it before then. Wealth was not his interest. If you look at, for example, to have military power and might, our Prophet never initiated a war unless if it was absolutely necessary. He never wanted to fight anyone. He always waited till the last minute to fight, such that the people had a chance to come back to the religion of Islam, or come to Islam, or to make peace with Islam and never fight. He could have used his last prophet and given him might and shown his might. He could have given him wealth and shown his wealth. But he didn't. He chose to give him character. And he chose to distinguish his prophet by character. One of the explanations of why Allah chose that our prophet's greatest defining characteristic is his behavior and his manners could very easily be that wealth and might, with time, someone can come and say, I'm greater than him. For example, today, a militaristic nation could turn around and say that Sulaiman's might and wiping out the country of Sheba, look what we have and all the weapons that we have. One could make the claim that my might has increased greater than what Sulaiman had. If we take a look at wealth, it could be that in the time of Rasulullah his wealth was great and amazing, but maybe comparatively over time, someone could make the claim. You're all seeing these Amazon trucks, right? There's one guy sitting behind all these Amazon trucks. He could make the claim that my wealth has increased greater than that, na'uzubillah, of the status of the Prophet of Allah. So Allah makes the decision and He appoints and He says, "O Rasulullah, I will give you supremacy over all of humanity in such an area that no one from this day till the day of judgment, nor from Adam until you came to this earth, that no one can be better than you in that area." And that area, Rasulullah, إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. That Allah chose that my Habib, my beloved on this earth, if I wish to distinguish him over humanity, I will distinguish him in such a way that no other person in humanity can say that they are better than Rasulullah. No person can say that their character exceeds the character of Rasulullah. No person can say that they are better than Rasulullah. Therefore, Allah makes the claim and He says, "Ya Rasulullah, when I sent you to humanity, I sent you with a characteristic, I sent you with a behavior, I sent you with an identifier that no one will ever come close to you in the history of humanity. And that, Ya Rasulullah, is your character." Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Once we understand this point, that the best of all of humanity in behavior, in manner, is this Prophet of ours. Now let's go back and look at Ayah 7 of Surah Hashr. مَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا يَنْهَى عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Allah, when He makes this statement, it has not just to do with wealth, it's from every aspect of character and behavior that Allah is giving the distinguishment to our Holy Prophet. And saying that this personality, you will never find anyone, it's impossible that you find anyone that behaves or has something better than this personality. That this is the best example in all of existence. And take whatever he has. Follow him in whatever he has. And whatever he stays away from, you stay away from. There's no way possible you'll find someone who has better wisdom, better character than this personality here. If we want to celebrate the Wiladat of Rasulullah, we want to celebrate the Wiladat of Rasulullah. You're all awake, right? We're good? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We want to celebrate the birthday of the Prophet. There's no better way than following the teachings of the Quran and the example that Allah has placed on this earth and learning from the character and the behavior and the mannerism of our Holy Prophet. Which is why our sixth Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam makes this statement. He says, "I feel bad for you, O people. I'm sad for you, O people, that you should leave this earth and not possess at least one of the characteristics of Rasulullah." Look at that. The Imam is saying, "I pity." And he's not saying, "I pity," for example, someone who doesn't know about the Holy Prophet, or someone who's not a Muslim, or someone who, for example, never learned about the Prophet and says, "I feel bad for them." No, he's saying, amongst you, O Muslimin, are those who live your life and yet never adopted a single characteristic from the Holy Prophet. That for us, when we come to celebrate, it's great, we came to celebrate. But celebration is not just by attendance, it's by application as well too. It's by behavior and mannerism too. Especially in this day and age, where you can't find a single paper, a single discussion, a single topic that doesn't say seven habits of highly effective people. Every billionaire starts his day with this activity, or every rich person has this attribute, and we go and we say, if he's doing that, maybe if I do it, I can be like him too. What's the purpose of these articles? The purpose of these articles is to implement in our character the behavior of the individual whose article we're reading about. Jeff Bezos does this every morning. Bill Gates did this every day. And we read these and we say, maybe I should implement this ability and maybe I will become like him, or I will develop, for example, wealth like he did, or he did this and he became successful, therefore maybe I can become successful. For us, we have the greatest example of success in the world. in existence that Allah is the one who is telling us that whatever He does, take from Him, and whatever He stays away from, you stay away from as well too. There's no Business Insider writing this article. There's no Yahoo article that's talking about the characteristics. It is Allah Himself who is talking about that this is the personality whose examples you want to follow and implement in your life. That's the goal that we have. Therefore, we have to take a look at, research, learn, and study about the character of our Holy Prophet. We want to know how he sat, how he stood, how he behaved in a society, how he dealt with his family, how he dealt with conflict in society, how he dealt with sorrow and loss. One of the greatest narrations is when we see the Prophet crying over his son, Ibrahim, the one who was born to Maria Qubtiyah, who died in infancy. The Prophet had children. His sons didn't live for very long lives. But we see how he dealt with the conflict of loss. He says himself, "O Ibrahim, at your loss the eyes cry tears for losing you, but the tongue will never say that which displeases Allah." The example's there that yes, you will go through sorrow in life, and it's okay to cry about sorrow. It's okay to cry about loss. It's okay to feel sad. And when we have people in our community that go through loss, don't tell them to stop crying. There are appropriate places to cry and there are inappropriate places to cry. For example, one of the places, that we don't cry is when we go to bury the individual in the graveyard. When we go to the graveyard, we don't cry there. Why? Because crying is something I'm doing for myself. At that moment, the person who I'm there to bury doesn't need the distraction of my grief and to worry about me. He needs to worry about his affairs. And we are there to facilitate that person's affair because the change he's going through is more difficult than the change of us losing him. So for example, when we go to the graveyard, when we go to bury someone and we're in the process of providing the talqeen, of reciting the du'as, of putting the body in the grave, of going through these affairs, at that point, in that location, it's not recommended to be emotional. But if, for example, I weep over the loss of my relatives and I cry over that, there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with that. Our Prophet gave us this example. We even saw how he would console parents who lost small children. Now, this wasn't where I was planning on going, but we're okay? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Relative to the losses that we face in our families and our communities, there are times when every community goes through these phases, and sometimes that's the right moment to have these conversations. And it's the right moment to talk about grief and loss, because we're receptive to it, because we're going through that process. And which is why, even in the process of losing a child, and especially when you lose, for example, an infant or a young child, it's a very difficult trial. Because what did that child do wrong? But the same way that Allah, when He takes something from you, He gives something to you. Allah is adil. Allah is just. There are three types of justice. One type of justice is, for example, I borrowed $10 from you. I give you $7. It's okay. Maulana, you'll forgive me. 7 is okay. The second type is you gave me $10 and I gave you back $10. Thank you very much. Here's your $10. The third type of justice is that you gave me something, $10. In return, my generosity is such that you gave me 10, I give you 20. You gave me 10, I give you 100. As the generosity to show that I am just and generous and that you gave me something, I give you better than what you gave me. When we talk about the justice of Allah, it can't be that a human being is more just than Allah. As a human being, I have the ability that, for example, I can give less back to a person, I can give equal back to a person, I can give better back to a person. Allah's justice is such that if a human being can give you better in return for what you loan them, Allah can give you even better that no human being can account for when He gives back to you what you loaned Him. So when, for example, we go through a trial and we bear that trial correctly, and for example, the loss of a child is a great trial that Allah took from us. We know the compensation is great. This is why we have the hadith from our Holy Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam That when he goes to visit a family that lost a child and he goes to console them, he says, certainly Allah allows the children to enter heaven without any question. And that the first one on Yawm al-Mahshar that will gather will be the children who will be free to go to heaven because they had no responsibility, no difficulty. He says, but these children will be such that when they go to the doors of heaven, they will stop. And Allah will ask them that I gave you permission, you can go. They will reply, and what of our parents? We don't go without them. Allah will say, you and your parents all go to heaven together. There's no questioning for you. That if Allah took something from you in this life, His compensation has to be greater than what He took. So the Prophet's explaining, feel sorrow, it's okay, but feel an appropriate sorrow that doesn't take away the reward that Allah has put for this action for you. The same way when we take a look and we see this, there's a discussion. If you want to learn the character of our Holy Prophet, it was taught to us by our Ahlul Bayt. We have the benefit of the Ahlul Bayt. Amongst, for example, the Ahl Sunnah, the first writing down of the Sunnah of Rasulullah happened 100 years after our Prophet left this world. Until that 100 years, there was only an oral tradition that existed amongst the Awam, the general Muslimin, of where they kind of talked about, or they would find somebody to listen to and they would hear about a hadith or a statement. But after 100 years, they finally went through the process of writing down the hadith of the Holy Prophet and how he behaved and what he did. We have the benefit through the wasila of the Ahlul Bayt that from the moment Rasulullah left until 255 years, the example of Rasulullah was present amongst us. And we could go to them and see the example of Rasulullah. We could sit with the example of Rasulullah. This is the reason why the Ahlul Bayt, to teach the people, would say, Awwaluna Muhammad, Awsatuna Muhammad, wa Akhiruna Muhammad, Kulluna Muhammad. Sallu ala Muhammad. That when we want to learn about the Prophet, we have the example from the Ahlul Bayt of how he used to behave because they followed and they did exactly as the Prophet did, which is why they said the first of us is Muhammad, the middle is Muhammad, the last is Muhammad. Every single one of us that you will see, you will find the exact example of the Prophet. So we see the conversation, and this is where we'll inshallah start to wrap up. You guys are okay still? We're good? Nobody's too sleepy? Alright? Imam Hussein as a child goes and he sits with Imam Ali and he says, tell me about my grandfather. Tell me about my father Rasulullah. And this is narrated in Sunnah Nabi, this is narrated in many of the ahadith books from all sorts of narrators. That Amir al-Mu'mineen begins, he says, your father Rasulullah would split his time into three. One time would be for his family, one time would be for worship, one time would be spent with his friends, his free time. In his time with his family, he would sit with all of his family members and discuss good affairs. In his private time, he would spend his time in worship. And when it came time for his friends, he would have two gatherings. One where he would sit with all of his friends who wanted to come and sit and spend time with him, and one that he reserved for the best of his community in character. That if Rasulullah ever gave preference to somebody, it was because of their good character, not because of their wealth, not because of their status, not because of their position in society, but rather he would look for their character before he looked at any other attribute of theirs. When he would sit with his companions, he would sit in such a way that they would be able to freely discuss with him whatever topics and affairs that they had. And in response, when Rasulullah would look at a person and he would speak to them, he would overwhelm them with his presence and repeat an answer 3 times to ensure that the person clearly understood, and would give them instruction that when you go back from here, share this information with everyone so that they may benefit from it. How did Rasulullah go out? Imam Ali explains, he says, your father Rasulullah, when he would leave his house, he would always mention the name of Allah before leaving. When he would go out, he would never dispute with the people, never chase their faults and flaws, and never criticize them for the mistakes that they made. If someone asked for forgiveness, he forgave them. He never publicly criticized anyone. He never privately criticized anyone. When he would sit with people and they wanted to begin and defame others or criticize others, he would stop that conversation immediately. His conversations were always practical about improving a situation or fixing a problem. That he would always sit in a gathering. When he would enter into a gathering, he would never pick a seat for himself, nor would he sit in a designated space. That if someone new came to a gathering and they came and they sat in the gathering, they would have a hard time distinguishing who was the Prophet from amongst the people who was sitting in front of him. Because the Prophet never wanted to sit in a place of distinguishment. Imam Ali goes further. He says, rather, the character of the Prophet was that when he would enter a room, he would prefer to sit in the back, not in a place of designation and distinction. He never liked to keep a special seat for himself, and rather, he did not like people to reserve spaces for themselves in the gatherings when they would get together. Our Prophet was a personality who at least 70 times a day would do istighfar of Allah. And when someone asked our sixth Imam, why would Rasulullah do istighfar? And some even asked Rasulullah himself, why do you do istighfar? You're rahmatul lil alameen. For your presence, Allah changed the world. Your character is the best character. You are the one who is completely sinless. Allah has forgiven everything from you. And our Holy Prophet would answer, but isn't it right for the creation to be thankful to his Creator? That's for us. Don't sit there and calculate, do I have anything to do istighfar for? What did I do today? Nothing today, no istighfar today, I'm free. No. If the example of Rasulullah is teaching to do istighfar, and the way he would do his istighfar is, they said that whenever he would stand up from a gathering or sit down in a gathering, he would do istighfar of Allah before he joined that gathering. His speech was always concise. His character was such that it was always of a smiling character. When he would laugh, it was never a sarcastic laugh. It was a sincere laugh. One of the attributes that, for example, that we differ in a little bit from the Ahl Sunnah of the Holy Prophet is, and I've read this in a few books, is that the character of Rasulullah that they say is that Rasulullah had a gap between his teeth. Our mu'arikhin, they write that no, rather it was that a light would come from the mouth of Rasulullah in such a way that people assumed there was a gap between his teeth. And that some people narrated that there was a gap between his teeth, but rather that a light would shine from even the mouth of Rasulullah as he would speak. Our Holy Prophet had no bad smell, and he disliked bad smells in people, and would rather himself ensure that he is always clean and prefer that the people that he sits with are always clean and pure. There are some things that our Holy Prophet did where he says, of my attributes are that I sit with the poor on the ground and I eat with them. I ride a donkey without a saddle. And the attribute of the Prophet was that if he would ride on an animal, he would never sit alone. He would always take someone with him such that people wouldn't see that he has pride in the animal that he rides. And he would always ensure that someone was with him. And that he would say salam to little children, and he says, I perform these actions so that they continue in society after me. And that's part of our goal, is that we ensure that our character reflects this behavior of our Holy Prophet. That we, for example, say salam to little children. We're not embarrassed to eat with people who are of simple living and simple quality. That we are humble when we go to places, and we don't take such pride in, for example, our vehicles or our conveyance in such a way that we see it as a sense of our superiority. Our Prophet was a personality who used to tie a rock to his stomach from the conditions of hunger, to keep simple in this process. We see so many good examples. The point of me mentioning these characteristics in the variety that they are in is that for all of us there is something that improves our life if we look at the example of Rasulullah. And this year, I'd like us all to make it a goal. Whether it's from this majlis, whether it's from our reading individually, that we go through the process to learn the characteristics of Rasulullah such that we are not a person that our Imam feels sorry for. That we implement some character of our Holy Prophet within our life. So that, inshallah, we may be entitled to his shifa'ah in dunya and in akhirah. Let's raise our hands in dua. ندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم. Ya Allah, 10 times. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Ya Mahmud بحق محمد. Ya أعلى بحق علي. Ya فاطر السماوات بحق فاطمة. Ya محسن بحق الحسن. Ya قديم الأحسان بحق الحسين. Oh Allah, accept the small ibadat from us. Oh Allah, give any thawab that we may have earned to our marhumin and the marhumin of our community and the marhumin in need of dua. Oh Allah, there are those who have come here with hajat by the right of Ahlul Bayt and khususan rahmatul lil alameen. Fulfill the hajat of the mu'mineen. Oh Allah, those amongst our community, our families and the mu'mineen who are sick, give them shifa'ah. Oh Allah, by the wasila of Rasulullah, entitle us to his shafa'ah in dunya and akhirah, and keep our children on the path of Rasulullah, and return to us the remainder of Rasulullah quickly and peacefully. We wait for the dhuhur of Sahib al-Zaman. In honor of Rasulullah, and in honor of this moment, let's raise our voices together and recite Dua Faraj, that may Allah hasten the reappearance of Sahib al-Zaman, and by the barakat of the love of Rasulullah, may he hasten the reappearance of the reminder of Rasulullah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kun li waliyyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلوات على محمد وعلى محمد. يا الله.
Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of the Managing Committee, I'd like to wish you all Kushali Mubarak. In light of this auspicious occasion, the Managing Committee, in part with Sheikh, have put together a small trivia quiz. If you could turn your attention towards the screen, you'll see a 6-digit code that you can enter at www.kahoot.it, or you can download the Kahoot app. You guys have 60 seconds left to enter your nicknames, then we'll be starting the trivia game. To preserve clarity, I will be reading the questions, but you can also read them on the screen. The winner will be receiving a fantastic prize, Amazon gift card. The game is beginning. Question number 1. What are the 2 dates celebrated for the Prophet's birthday? The correct answer is Rabi al-Awwal, 12th and 17th. top leaderboards are Awwal, Mikhail, Nabil, Prophet 4, Preside, and S. What verse did we begin the lecture with? The correct answer is Surah Hashr 7. We have Brother Nabil in the lead. Which prophet did Allah describe in the Quran with worldly power? Correct answer is Nabi Sulaiman. Where did the Prophet sit in gatherings? The correct answer is in the back or wherever there would be room. Brother Nabil still in the lead. For the first how many years of the message was character and philosophy preached? The correct answer is 13 years. We have Brother Onali in the lead. Which one of the following was a characteristic of the Holy Prophet? The correct answer was all of the above. We have S in the lead. Which of the following didn't the Holy Prophet do? The correct answer is eat cranberries. In third place we have Janan. Second place, okay. And in first place we have S. Congratulations to S. I think we can have a salawat for S.
Assalamu alaikum. Will S come and see me and collect his gift from me? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Yeah, okay.
You go right
That's good.
Mike will stay down. He's going to say
Turn it
something.
on, turn it on.
Mu'mineen, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, our madrasa children have practiced a qasida to honor the birth of the Holy Prophet. They have practiced consistently and worked very hard for this. So let us welcome them with the loudest of our voices. Afdalus Salat Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه.
She's getting. I'm going to announce your name that you were. Yeah, yes, yes. No, please. Assalamu alaikum. Sister S said she didn't want the gift, so whoever was number 2 can see me. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Brother Arif.
Another loud salawat for our kids here today who did an amazing job. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Our guest speaker, Sheikh Bilal, our resident alim, Dr. Raza Dungarsi, my respected elders, dear sisters, brothers, and my youth, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I must begin by first conveying my sincere condolences on behalf of the Nasimco Executive Council to the Khalfan family on the passing of their beloved father, brother, husband, and our mentor, supporter, candid advisor, Marhum Shaukat Ali Khalfan. He truly had a heart of gold and will be missed dearly by all of us. Also on the sad news of the passing away of Marhum Zakir Datu today, let us please recite Surah Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate their status amongst the chosen ones. Ilahi Ameen. To celebrate tonight's occasion, we would like to convey our felicitations to our 12th and living Imam, Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. On the birth of his grandfather, our holy Prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. And our 6th Imam, Imam Jafar ibn Muhammad as-Sadiq alayhi salam. Tonight we have a special announcement from Nasimco, a first-time event taking place on Facebook Live. Before I get to our announcement, I would like to lay the foundation of our organization for those of you unaware. So who is Nasimco and what do we do? Nasimco, which is the North American Shia Ithna Shari Muslim Communities Organization, was founded in 1980 and is an umbrella organization of now 25 Jamaats spanning Canada and United States. Just this past conference, which was held here in New York, we have had the addition of 3 new member Jamaats, 2 in Ohio, USA, and 1 in Saskatoon, Canada. Nasimco exists to serve and guides its constituent member Jamaats to foster unity and promote religious, educational, social, and economic advancement of the communities. Some of our programs and core deliverables that are designed to meet these objectives
include the Leadership Development Program for future leaders of the community, whether it be for community work or beyond, the next one of which will be held here in New York, as you saw in the video earlier today, in February of 2020. I was just informed that half of the spots have been filled, and there are only 25 seats in total. So those of you who are still interested, please are requested to sign up soon. We also conduct the youth retreat catered for our youngsters for their spiritual and mental growth, and the Az-Zahra Ladies Retreat. The Nasimco Tarbiyah Madrasa curriculum provided by the Center of Islamic Learning has received an overwhelming response from madrasa teachers, educators, students, and parents throughout the madaris. We would like to thank our own Jamaat, Sijni, for adopting this program and endorsing it. Under the newly elected Nasimco Committee, we are excited and look forward to provide initiatives such as Tabligh, Outreach, Youth Network Desk, Ladies and Seniors Network Desk, in addition to local aid and international aid initiatives. In line with our New Technologies Initiative, and to provide a direct connect to the grassroots, tonight we are very proud to announce, and this is live, and Sijni members being the first to know of this release, a first of its kind Nasimco mobile application for all Android and Apple users. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This app has features that combines many other apps under one for the ease of use of our membership. I'd like to take a demonstration of the app now. All right, so I have an iPhone and I have the app loaded just to show you a little bit of features that are in the app. As you see here, we have the adhan timing, which is the next adhan for tomorrow morning, as well as our location, which is New York. The New York location was based out of New York City, where I was yesterday. But to change this, we go to the top right corner of the settings bar, click on the right corner, the white tab by New York, New York, which changes the location to Hicksville. Go back, and we've updated our location to Hicksville and the timing as well. So as you see, this is location-based, GPS-based worldwide, where you can get namaz timings worldwide as well. In this app as well, we have news, the pertinent news that will pop up, and alerts to the user, where this can be controlled here as well, where at the news, moon sighting, and obituaries at the bottom, where you can control your alerts, as well as the currency in this page, which can change from US dollars or Canadian dollars as well. The obituary list is here on the next screen, on the obituary. And the list of Jamaats on the top right gives the list of all the Jamaats that are in Canada, as well as in the United States. Gives you information of any of these Jamaats, which we will eventually have initiatives from each Jamaat populated here. And then also, if you need some directions, go straight to the Google Maps and get directions from there. To go back, we have also the namaz times, which is populated for Hicksville. You can change it to the next day and following day. There's an about page about Nasimco if you want to learn more about us. And the sponsors, which is next. We always look for sponsors to donate towards any cause that we take part in, or even if you'd like to sponsor this app. At the bottom left, you see the Sadqa button, which you have a choice of donating any amount that you want, either one time, daily, or weekly, or monthly. And if you go here, you can actually see that you have Apple Play, double click, and you're done. the Qibla Finder, which is amazing on the Android. On the Apple, it will give you based on your location. However, on the Apple, it's not augmented reality yet, but they're working on it, I hear. And the last but not least, on the bottom right, has the live streaming of all the Jamaats in North America, as well as some out of the country, like Hujjat, Stanmore. And just to give an example, Sijni, let's see if this works. Okay, that has my... Right. So as you see, it's a little delayed, but we're on. And the channels on the top right, which are the 24-hour channels, Ahlul Bayt TV, IBN TV, etc. If you go here, click on that, and we're showing that as well. And the last, which I said earlier, the last but not least, the donate button. If you have any donations that you'd like to give, we have a lot of funds available, as well as Qurbani, Fidya, Khoms, Seme Sadat, Seme Imam, etc. You can choose to add the credit card fees before you donate as well at the bottom. And that gives a feature of the Simco app, which is really a foundation for more things to come, inshallah. Salawatu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We feel this is a huge milestone for not only Nasimco, but our member Jamaats to be more integrated with its membership. Our future initiatives will be integrated into this app, inshallah, for the benefit of all. Please note that whatever donations you give have a 0% admin fee associated to them. Khum, Sehem Imam, and Sehem Sadat are not donations, but religious obligations. So those will be spent according to the ijazah we have been provided by Agha Sistani to the World Federation. To end, I would like to play a short promo video that will be circulated right after our live event tonight. Please note that the Nasimco app was just uploaded to the Apple App Store yesterday and Google Play today. So it might not show up in your searches yet, but right after this event, we will circulate it on our social media, as well as our Nasimco email, and also on WhatsApp groups. We thank the management for always being supportive of Nasimco and its initiatives. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome to the launch of the newly designed Nasimco mobile app. We're bringing Nasimco to your fingertips. A wonderful resource that will simplify your life and connect North American Shia communities together with the tap of a button. Stay up to date with timely alerts from Nasimco on moon sightings, media releases, and death announcements. Make it your travel companion by locating a nearby member Jamaat and or finding the direction of Qibla. Set your location and the app automatically populates and sends notifications for Salat timings based on your GPS settings. Live stream programs from many Jamaat outlets or watch world-renowned Islamic TV channels 24 hours a day. Charity giving made easy. Give Sadaqah once or have it automated daily, weekly, or monthly using Apple Pay or Android via Stripe. Giving Khums or Qurbani or any other donation is now easier than ever. All donations have 0% admin costs. The Nasimco app is the ultimate app, combining many different services all in one. Download it today. Available on Apple App Store and Google Play.
محمد وآل محمد. ایمان و عقیدت کی تعبیر نہیں ہے, ایمان و عقیدت کی تعبیر نہیں ہے, ایمان و عقیدت کی تعبیر نہیں ہے, ایمان و عقیدت کی تعبیر نہیں ہے. سینے میں مدینے کی جو تصویر نہیں ہے, سینے میں مدینے کی جو تصویر نہیں ہے. منہ بولتا قرآن ہے سرکار مدینہ, منہ بولتا قرآن ہے سرکار مدینہ, منہ بولتا قرآن ہے سرکار مدینہ, منہ بولتا قرآن ہے سرکار مدینہ. اب اس سے بڑی کوئی بھی تفسیر نہیں ہے, اب اس سے بڑی کوئی بھی تفسیر نہیں ہے. محمد وآل محمد. جہاں روزائے پاکے خیر الورا ہے, وہ جنت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے. کہاں میں کہاں یہ مدینے کی گلیاں, یہ قسمت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے. محمد کی عظمت کو کیا پوچھتے ہو کہ وہ صاحب کعبہ کو سین ٹھہرے. محمد کی عظمت کو کیا پوچھتے ہو کہ وہ صاحب کعبہ کو سین ٹھہرے. بشر کی سرے عرش مہمان نوازی, یہ عظمت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے. بشر کی سرے عرش مہمان نوازی, یہ عظمت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے. جو آسی کو کملی میں اپنی چھپا لے, جو دشمن کو بھی زخم کھا کر دعا دے, جو آسی کو کملی میں اپنی چھپا لے, جو دشمن کو بھی زخم کھا کر دعا دے, اسے اور کیا نام دے گا زمانہ. وہ رحمت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے. اسے اور کیا نام دے گا زمانہ. وہ رحمت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے جہاں روزائے پاکے خیر الورا ہے وہ جنت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے کہاں میں کہاں یہ مدینے کی گلیاں یہ قسمت نہیں ہے تو پھر اور کیا ہے محمد وآل محمد
محمد وعلی محمد صلوات. ایک اور صلوات بھیج دیجیے وعلی محمد اللہم صلی علی محمد.
زندگی بندگی بخش دی ہے آبرو دین حق کی بچائی وہ محمد کا پیارا نواسا جس نے سجدے میں گردن کٹا دی بھر دو جولی میری تاجدار مدینہ لوٹ کر میں نہ جاؤں گا خالی.
محمد وعلی محمد صلوات. اللہم
چھٹے امام زمانے میں آنے والے ہیں چھٹے امام زمانے میں آنے والے ہیں جہاں کو معجزے اپنے دکھانے والے ہیں جہاں کو معجزے اپنے دکھانے والے ہیں زمین و آسمان رقصاں ہے خوشگوار فضا دہر میں دین کے غنچے کھلانے والے ہیں علی کی شان حسن کا جمال حسن حسین ابو بصیر کو یکجا دکھانے والے ہیں چھٹے امام زمانے میں آنے والے ہیں.
محمد وعلی محمد صلوات.
زیارت. السلام علیکم یا رسول اللہ، السلام علیکم یا امیر المؤمنین امام المتقین، السلام علیکم یا سیدتنا مولاتنا فاطمۃ الزہرا سیدۃ النساء العالمین، السلام علیکم یا ابا حسن المجتبی ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکم یا ابا عبداللہ وعلی الارواح التي حلت بفنائک، علیک منی جمیعا سلام اللہ ابدا ما بقیت وبقی اللیل والنہار، ولا جعل الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليك وعلى أخيك أبي الفضل العباس وعلى أختك الحوراء زينب وعلى 9 المعصومين من بنيك علي بن الحسين زين العابدين ومحمد بن علي الباقر وجعفر بن محمد الصادق وموسى بن جعفر القاظم وعلي بن موسى الرضا محمد بن تكي الجواد وعلي بن محمد الهادي والحسن بن علي العسكري والحجة القائم المهدي المنتظر. السلام عليك يا شهداء كربلاء جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.